Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
Episode 14 of Cyrus Says was released on June 4th, 2015.
Just to remind everybody that language usage and content that we provide here may be disturbing, disgusting, probably will be and should be. Words like bloody custard and words that rhyme with that may be featured. Actually will be featured. In fact, perhaps will only be featured. Just warning you.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Yes, it's called Cyrus Says, but I've had a terrible week so far because I came to blows with my wife almost. Well, when I say come to blows, no pun intended, she just beat the crap out of me and tore the skin off my hands. This is what happens after 13, 14 years of marriage. This is not foreplay, this is just no play. And the point of the matter is homeopathy. You see, I was trying to give my son some homeopathy which I read about, which is supposed to give you vitality and strength. And I said, let him start young because I tire very easily in my 40s. And I thought if he has this gift, he'll probably be having a lot of energy as he grows up. But she got really upset and said, how can you give him this? It's like steroids, this and the other. And in the course of the conversation, because my wife and I have this conversation which lasts 4 seconds of civil talk, after which the blows start raining on me and I start crying and screaming for my mother, who came out and joined my wife and beat me with a little handpan that she has. And this went on because they all thought I'm trying to poison my own son. So I'm just very upset. I just want to say, if you're out there and you know about homeopathy, can you write to us or, just talk to us about it? Because I want to propagate homeopathy as a safe thing. I don't understand what the problem was. It's just a few white pills. How bad can that be?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Coming up on Cyrus Says, we have Nikhil Merchant who's going to tell us about his life's journey from simple pawala to, still pawala till August, and then it all changes. Obama's got a proposal from somebody in India or Kenya, we're not sure, we'll figure that out as well. And finally, we do have to discuss how some restaurants are able to sustain unbelievable success percentile. Who are these people? Who are the political backers? We'll expose everything in this unbelievable investigative story called What Restaurants Think. Yes, it's called Cyrus Says, and we've got a plethora of guests to choose from. Amitabh Bachchan, we said no. We don't have time. Shashi Kapoor won an award. No, can't get into our studio. No time for that. But we do have Nikhil Merchant. Now, he may not be a famous Bollywood face, but apparently he's going to have one of the biggest restaurants in the world, opening in August, inshallah, if everything goes right, in Los Angeles, no less, which is almost the capital of food and culture in the world. So, Nikhil, we bow to you. We'll start with that great success story, but obviously it starts from a small acorn. You became into a big tree. And unfortunately, I can see the acorn, so put it away. But let's get straight to the story of Nikhil Merchant. Chavi, going to say hi as well?
Hello.
And just,
he said my name right. Oh my God.
And just for the listeners,
to be broken.
You are now dressed like a Bedouin gypsy seller of bangles.
No,
with
camels.
this black hood. A la Batman 1945 and before, when the drawings were very different. And I must say, you look like a pilot from a very low-budget airline. And someone that would scare me.
Low-budget Middle Eastern.
But you look very nice.
Thank you.
But it's just the look, the mix, I don't know.
Can I now explain this?
Oh, please do.
So I'm wearing a scarf on my head.
And nothing else. This is the kind of show you want to do.
Wearing a scarf on my head because my hair is still
You
wet
never have to
from
say
my
scarf on my
shower.
head. Where do you wear a scarf?
Some people-
On your knee?
Listen, there are YouTube videos out there demonstrating things you can do with your
If
scarf.
I see a man with a scarf anywhere else, I think I'm going to be attacked and taken hostage.
People can wear them around their necks.
That's what I mean.
I'm wearing it on my
Sanjeev
head.
Kumar tried that. He had no hands. He had a proper reason. It was a film called Sholay. Nikhil, say hi.
Hey, hi, how are you?
People wear scarves on their heads.
This
They
shows
do
about
wear scarves.
And around their necks.
Yes.
Sometimes as a lungi.
They are poor people. One scarf or fits everything. That's another story. And they're midgets as well. Can I say midgets?
Yes.
I mean people who are horizontally challenged, like myself. All right, Nikhil, let's start with you. Get to the meat. Literally. Because before we go to your success story in this lovely restaurant, let's start with your background. I've done my research and it takes me to Shop for Change and the fair trade movement. So you're revolutionary.
Yes, I'm not revolutionary, but fair trade is a new concept in
Never
India.
heard of in subcontinent. We don't have this word fair or trade.
It's to put it simply, it's very, it's about promoting farmers, getting them market access. And making sure that they get a fairer price.
So you're Rahul Gandhi's guy, basically.
No, I wish.
You're screaming for the farmers and not the suits and the boots.
No, anyway.
I will interrupt you for no reason whatsoever.
That's
you have to
fine.
ignore me like I'm 5 years old or herpes, which you should not get when you're 5 years old.
And you
Then
shouldn't ignore if
homeopathy
you've
may
got
not be
it.
enough. You've got herpes.
No.
Hence the scarf.
Oh, God, no.
No, my God, you cover it well, I must say. I wouldn't have guessed.
I just ignore it. Yeah,
Herpes is
Like
dangerous.
herpes can be seen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But can herpes only be in that area?
You think?
I don't know. Sometimes people's genitalia and their face is not that much different. I've seen a few.
Oh God.
Isn't shingles a kind of herpes as well?
It's about Nikhil Merchant, not your damn health show. Okay, we
Anyway.
tend to go in different directions. I apologize, Nikhil, but the fair trade movement, you were saying.
No, so I've worked with them for 3 years. Though now I'm not physically associated with them. I still advocate that they should have market access.
But it's almost like communism. What's the point here? Everybody has equal access to everything?
That's what you think, but it's not. It's very difficult for these guys, especially from the logistics perspective.
To fight the large MNCs and to fight the government companies and things
everything.
like that. Is it?
So yeah, and it's been quite a journey with them because I got to experience food at another level.
There you go.
You know, at like grassroots levels, which kind of makes me what I am today. To an
So
extent.
is that food tastier?
It is
Of course it is, yeah.
100%. It
Okay.
is. When I go to the villages and you sit
Two
down
questions.
with them.
Is it
yeah.
cheaper and do you tip? Because, the culture is different. I'm wondering, Baswant, idhar aao. Haan, kya hai, moong dal, whatever. I mean, they don't even know about tips. I say don't tell them. We save a little money here.
You'd be surprised how generous they are.
Really?
Yeah.
They force
They
feed
don't
you?
look. Yeah, they force food down
Typical
your.
Punjabi wedding. Come here, beta. I'm sorry again. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So, I've been kind of associated with them and still do. And I hope
So
that.
you've got, may I say, a almost leftist, humanitarian, compassionate side. I'm putting it all together. I may be wrong, but we have to label. Without labels, people don't understand.
Of course.
You have to keep labeling people, right? He's great. He's better. I've got herpes apparently. But going back, you were also a food critic, a food blogger, and before I would say the food.
And he throws fabulous dinner parties.
and
where he
fabulous-
cooks. Yeah.
Where the farmers who are paid nothing and made to cook. But the interesting part is, I would say, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me please, in the last 10 or 15 years, maybe 10 years, Chavi, you know as well, Mumbai's had this huge burst of restaurant business. Overnight from the 90s when I thought we had 3.5 known restaurants, these different restaurants, cuisines hitting you in the face, and every year churning out more and more, reinventing themselves. So you're in the middle of that, right?
Right.
But are there any organic or fair trade restaurants in Bombay?
There are a couple.
Or they claim to be.
Yoga house.
They claim to be, but they do keep organic foods. There's no doubt about it.
Or is it okay if you just keep the food, but you mix it up, but you can put the label then that you're organic and natural or whatever, but you can obviously mix it up after that.
But you'd be surprised that most Indian produce, especially from these villages, are naturally organic. You really don't have to certify them because A, they're damn expensive. And,
What certification is it?
yeah, the certification is
I
expensive.
remember Michael Jackson's famous words.
What?
When he said that,
no.
I like my food natural and my women artificial. Women...
God, and I'm thinking heal the world or something,
Oh, heal
like
the world. There's no
that.
hope for the world. Come on. Why do you think he ran away to LA? There's no hope for us. He was trying to save India, help the farmers, do organic stuff. And after 7 years of blogging and doing all this and pushing the button, he realized it's a waste of time. So he moved to LA.
Is that
No,
what
I don't
happened?
think it's a waste of time.
I'm kidding. Don't answer my questions. Like
That's
I said,
fine.
5-year-old herpes. Just jump over that. So now let's get to the you were in DNA, is it? As a critic?
I don't call myself a critic. I think that's...
Let's say connoisseur. Well,
Yes, I am a food writer.
right.
I still write extensively on food, which gave me access to the kitchens of a lot of chefs.
What's your take on the beef ban?
Beef ban? Well, to be honest, I think, from the perspective of people who eat beef, I know I do. I grew up in a vegetarian home, so it does not really, really affect me as much as it should. So maybe I'm really biased. But I feel that it's nobody should be banned to eat what they want to. Within the realms of...
Yeah, but play devil's advocate then, what's
No,
stopping
it's
us?
not a devil's advocate,
You
it's
can eat
just-
little children also. Where draw the line? I've seen a couple of children. Yummy. No, I'm kidding. That's rubbish. How can you say
Kidding.
that?
I see what you did.
But there's
there.
some fat kids out there, Chavi, I tell you.
You just
Some
look
kids
at them
who...
and their thighs, their calves.
They're calves. I'm like,
Yeah.
calves? Women. I've seen middle-aged women with such lovely, and when I say this, it's not sexual, so if you're listening, please don't get scared, but with these lovely round calves, and I'm like, why can't I have those calves? And again, not
To
sexually.
eat?
I actually want to have calves like that on my calves.
to have
Well, not on top of my calves, but instead of my calves.
back to cows.
Cows, beef ban, you're with it. So,
But,
so you're saying to each his own, and you don't want this fascist sort of thing, ideology. I think that's the basic problem most people are having. Don't tell us. Most of us are animal lovers. I'll be very keen to be vegetarian myself one day, I hope. But having said that, so your point point is...
I mean, how many people do actually go to a restaurant and order steak?
It's not that much.
It's
You're
not
right.
that much.
It's not that
So
much.
how does it matter?
I think it's for people who eat it at home, right? For
Exactly.
a lot of
Well, there
communities,
are a couple of
this is the
communities who
cheapest
do
protein.
eat it. Yeah, fair. And also the foreign clientele that come in, you want to be the next Beijing. You don't want to ban this and ban that. You want to be a little more open-minded, I'm presuming. Yeah.
But mostly I think it's affected the marginalized people
It
for
has.
whom this is the cheapest
What about
source
those
of
who own
protein.
the buffaloes and cows and are
now
stuck with
they
them?
they have to keep feeding them.
Of course, I don't count the misses in that, but I'm just saying generally, how dare you make a sexist comment? But I was beaten. You have no idea. I was beaten so badly just 48 hours
Flayed,
ago.
you know?
Yeah. And I thought my mother will take my side, but she took her side.
I think
Just
she's
pills.
waiting outside the door right now.
Is that the noise?
That's not my mother. That's our sound engineer, Kiran. I told you he's got long hair and a big chest. But hey, let's draw the line and move on. Sorry, so Nikhil, now let's move to this other side. So you're just... what is this whole thing now, this food blogger movement? Can we just go into that for a second? I have a pal called Kunal who eats professionally,
Yes.
every 2 hours. And he looks now like a Rod, one of that Goodyear balloon at the end of, New York, the blimp.
I've
How
dined
dare
with
you.
him.
You've dined with him, there you go.
Many times.
So he keeps telling me about the power of these bloggers, which you are very much in the front of that whole movement. What is this whole blogger movement and why are restaurateurs getting scared of them and wanting them everywhere? And
I have a question.
Please.
Why are you all getting free meals?
No, why are they worried about you? Do you make or break careers? I mean,
No.
why?
Actually, if you go back 5 years when food blogging, or rather blogging actually took shape with the online movement of people, depending on technology for their information. Blogging has kind of, shaped up in such a way where it used to be a very open platform for people to discuss whatever they wanted.
The moment you said open platform, she spat and looked away. Tell me, what are you doing? You fascist? Of course it should be an open platform. Go on.
Anyway.
Huh.
And, the restaurants realized that this is an amazing platform. It's a free platform for people to actually talk about their brands. So that's when the whole PR, the Marcom and the whole PR communications kind of industry boomed again. And the brands made a big mistake of, I feel today, is targeting through their PRs food blogging. Because food bloggers, again, and that's why you see so many.
There's so many. I'm worried. How can all of them be powerful?
My question is about integrity. If your meal is paid for.
If the words integrity can't be used on my show, please get your own. What's
I
wrong
won't.
with
Thanks.
you?
That was a plug.
Don't
I'm gonna have
raise
own
my show. We're low and we want to stay there. Yeah.
I'm quite...
address that. Tell us.
I'm quite happy that, there are writers out there who have a fabulous...
But I just feel that they've been overestimated in their power, capacity to make or break restaurants and make or break subcultures of food.
There are a few of them. There are a few of them who actually do that, and people still go to them because of their following. And
it reminds me of those old critics in New York and LA you read about, who were so important that the restaurateur would be biting his nails and reading the review, and if it was bad, he would be hanging himself. And that's just wrong. I think that they have this power. But I was told from friends of mine who run restaurants and all that they have to keep these guys happy because they're not quite sure. It's more like a safety thing. We're not quite sure how much they reach and how many people get affected.
No, I don't think it's about happy. It's about keeping them happy. At the end of the day, I think it's about getting your brand mentioned and the message out on a platform.
That's in the ideal world, right? Where you say, here's carte blanche. Come to my restaurant, tell us exactly what
this
you
show's
think.
become so boring, I'm going to shoot myself.
Oh, come on.
What we have to do here is we'll inject some energy into the show by taking a quick break. And waiter! Sabka ek peg. You just try this. This is great stuff. It's all cheap and natural.
And
straight from the cow.
Oh, God.
No beef, straight from the cow.
Cheers.
Cheers and tables. Yes, it's called Cyrus Says. Nikhil Merchant is in the house, which is a big word for this small studio, but what the hell? In Mumbai, a house is a small studio. Nikhil Merchant! Are you related to the other merchant, Jitin, the critic?
No.
The theatre critic?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Sabira?
No.
The Merchant of Venice?
I wish.
Okay. Man, we really do our research. The Merchant of Bloody Venice. You know what that rhymes with. Tennis. All right, let's move on. And we have to talk about this, night shifts for women. Now, this is a very important point, Chavi. You please answer this question. Now, women's lib, and I've always thought about that. If you want women's lib, blah, 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 then when we go to a restaurant, they should also pay. They should offer to pay.
Of course.
For me, it has to work completely. So, similarly, now this move for night shifts for women. It should be like something that everybody's saying, wow, that's great, because we're equal. But a lot of people, women included, are against this. Now, you please explain.
Well, I think that's because of where we live. I mean, seriously.
We don't live together.
We don't live together.
Stop
We live in
hinting.
the same country.
We can't.
Hold on.
I have a mother and a wife, and they have pans.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have what?
Pans. They
to
keep the
beat
men
you on
in
the
check.
head with.
Yeah. No, that's a greeting now. It's no longer, like a negative
it's like,
thing.
"Hi, Cyrus."
Hi, tong. Yeah, there you go. Tong used to be another word. Please.
All right, so two things. One, about women pulling their own weight. In the ideal world, yes. In our country, lots of women don't even have a job. They have their fathers or their
But now you
husbands
see
cash.
women inspectors, women traffic
Yeah.
constables,
So
women...
those women need to pay their own bill. I completely agree when they go out, yeah? As for working at night, if we had a society that made it safe and respected women for bringing in the cash...
But, can I interrupt? Mumbai is not quite Delhi. I get you. If you are Delhi, Gurgaon, Haryana, fair enough. But Mumbai is still not that bad. I know we've had a couple of really bad situations.
Yeah, but we're still a product of our society. Like, there are old-fashioned people who think they...
So,
औरत
one
को
second. So
काम
is this-
करने भेज रहे हैं, मतलब, like, नाक कट रही है. Like,
Okay.
our men are not good enough to earn 8 times what they do, and, yeah.
Okay, now you lost me at Nak because I suddenly started digging my nose in the middle. But coming back to this whole thing, so what do we do here?
What do you think, Nikhil?
Nikhil. And you're giving equal opportunity to men and women in Los Angeles, which is a lovely restaurant, which is called Imli, let me plug it, and where you have 50% women staff and 50% male staff.
True.
And they share aprons. Because
all women.
America's an ideal world.
What about your bartenders?
America's
Men
going
or
to
women?
have the first female president. I have it on record.
Yeah?
I spoke to Hillary Clinton, and she said, I'm Women Express. For
Awesome.
sure. Yeah, there you go. Imagine, we had a female prime minister 4,000 years ago. What the hell is wrong with America? It took them so long, and they haven't got it yet. Nikhil, you were saying I shouldn't talk.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think with the new government and anything, there's bound to be a change at some level. So, with women getting equal rights, I think at the end of the day, it's but natural we have to move towards that direction. So
Yeah, but you can't do this double thing. I'm almost a feminist. I'm scared. I have all alpha female in my life. But I just have to say, you can have it both ways. So either it's all equal and open, so then they have to do night shifts if they want, whatever. Or then you say, okay, now we got to protect them. They can't go out in the night. It's a little,
at the end of the day, I hope they are asking the women what they want.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So-
Good point.
Oh, my guests don't like me. I was trying to get a debate, but there's very passive, nice people who are saying, let the women be, let them do their own thing. Men suck. Things that we all know. Why even bother talking about it? Okay, moving from shop for change to the restaurant on this side of the moon. It's called Imli. Now tell us all about this. How did that happen? You're a food blogger. I know it's like those film critics who want to make movies. So you're a food blogger all your life, and now suddenly you're going to be in the front of it.
That's true.
And why in LA?
Yeah, what's wrong with Baikala? Don't like Baikala?
It was an opportunity which came upon.
Burevi East, I can get you land cheap.
Let's open a restaurant
Nala
here.
Subara, I
Come
have
on.
an aunt, by the way.
Yeah.
We never speak to her because she lives there. I live in
Long
Lamba
distance
Hill.
one.
You can't talk to people like that. We ignore her. At all functions, she's given separate food in a bag and sent away. She's a pretty lady.
And
pretty
he talks
lady.
about women's lib.
He does.
Well,
And restaurants.
My aunt used to be my uncle, so it's a long, complicated process. Back to you, Mr. Merchant. Why LA? Answer the question. What about Make in India, bhai?
Well, first of all, my partners are from there. So it was
Nicely done. He just passed the ball. Okay.
My partners are from there. It's an amazing new place to try out Indian food, which is now catching its roots.
You were saying
all over
before
the
we
world.
started that you feel the Indian explosion is starting.
Absolutely.
They're done with the
Big
other
time.
cuisines.
Big time.
But Indian, so are you doing traditional Indian food? Because everybody loves
Yes.
their butter chicken.
Let's not call it traditional. Let's just call it the same old, same old.
Northwest frontier province food.
I
Not
like
even
that.
that. Yeah, it's just 4 same dishes.
Or
I
more
mean,
like honest Indian food.
Honest Indian food.
That's simple.
Okay.
Honest Indian
authentic,
food.
real.
No, explain. I don't want adjectives.
So there has been a lot of people who are contemporizing.
He's against the Punjabification of food.
Like
As a
Jigs
Punjabi,
Kalra
don't you
from-
understand that?
Jigs Kalra's son at Masala Library is very much Punjabi, and he's not Punjabifying it.
No, because they're evolved thinkers, but we just subscribe. Come on, correct me if I'm wrong. The same buttered chicken, do pyaza, rogan josh, paneer tikka, the same dals, and come on.
Yeah, and the saag paneer.
Saag paneer
But
and
it's true.
And
and
naan bread.
maki this and maki that.
With naan
Dal
bread.
generally, but
Unfortunately, that is some of the comfort foods which people relate to. So, again, at the end of the
sorry
day...
to interrupt, I just thought of something. Maki dal is a terrible thing to say. It's like an incomplete sentence.
I knew that was coming.
It's just an incomplete sentence. It should be banned before beef. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Really.
You don't have to
We
apologize.
even have maa chole ki dal
My God!
in Punjabi culture.
I want to move to Punjab just for a conversation, not for the food. Yeah, you were saying.
Honest Indian food, great recipes, which I have learnt over time from chefs.
Now, your ethnicity is Gujarati. I presume merchant
Kutchi.
surname, Kutchi,
Bhatia.
Bhatia, vegetarian. But how do you get this whole gamut of different Indian cuisines, which are so many?
That's because of my food writing. because I got access to the chefs' kitchens all over the world, including a lot of people in India.
So how would you decide what is a pan-India sort of menu which you can put abroad and say, okay, I'm representing a lot of real India?
Something which is popularly known in each state, if you notice, has certain ingredients or certain dishes out there which are extremely
Dal bati
popular.
churma type of things.
So yeah,
And it changes region to region or even state sometimes, no?
that's true. And and the thing is that now that the world is becoming conscious of what Indians have to offer as far as their cuisine is concerned,
Beyond software, yes.
I think it's time, that they know what real food is, and I would go to the.
I should think so. I think the English have done us a dastardly deed with these 7-8 dishes, which we've happily taken as the, okay,
Paneer
this is
tikka
what
masala.
Exactly.
I'm not against them. I love all those dishes, but I'm just thinking after some time, it's such a rich culture. You go to the south. Did you know that there are more biryanis in South India than North India in terms of the biryani types that are made? They are in terms of number, which is fascinating. I had no idea.
And there are cuisines like Mopla cuisines, and
no idea.
various cuisines around the regions which people are not
I mean,
even aware.
Oriya cuisine alone has about 20 different segments to it. So, I mean, where do we... I think we've got a lot of work to do here.
You
One
got
restaurant is
nothing
not
to
going to
ask.
suffice. Let me take out my wallet. Let's do 2. Come on.
One in Alasapara, one in LA.
Imli and Simli.
Anyway,
Simli, Imli.
I shuttle between LA and here, so yeah.
So why LA? Why the choice for LA?
Again, when I mentioned that it's because of my partners, but I feel that
But why did they choose LA?
Indian
Because they're from
cuisine
there?
is underrepresented in Los Angeles.
But you wouldn't go to New York?
New York, Chicago, all these places actually have
Too many Indians. Say it, say it.
restaurants.
Too
They
many
do have.
Indians.
too many Indian restaurants.
And Indians.
And Indians.
New York, everybody says
Indians
hi.
are everywhere.
You suddenly hear the accent change. Hey, yaar, oh, MTV wala hai. It's terrible. New York is not a safe place to go to.
So that's why it's LA.
Yeah.
And I think it's a
What if
market-
what if Priyanka Chopra, who is superstar now in LA with her new show called Vertigo, Low,
Abacus or something.
Abacus, Low with Tintula, La, something. What if she enters the restaurant?
Yeah, I'll welcome her with open arms.
Which they follow the same sort of, we need the Hollywood, Bollywood types to push restaurants. We need the celebrity, NBA superstars to come in.
No, I think at the end of the day, it's all good food.
Yeah. What about
That's what
sourcing
works.
your spices and stuff, ingredients?
I'm actually going to be making the spices in house.
I give you one word, Mexico. Let's cross the border, pick up some spice, give a guy a job, boom.
Hey, but you know
rocking.
what? You're actually right.
Yeah.
Mexico has some fabulous spices, which even though
I
it's
knew
not
this
Indian.
girl called Felicia. What
Oh, God.
a
Hot
hot
pepper,
spice.
huh?
Oh, baby.
So it's all, there's no fusion stuff?
No, there's no fusion. There are no use of any canned or spices which are.
This will be advertised,
made.
obviously. And I'm asking,
Yes.
will it? Because these are big things now in
Of
the
course.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Natural, they're the ones who give us silicone breasts. I can't understand this. What a paradox of a community the West turned out to be. The West has become the East and the East is becoming the West. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And the twain has met and Kipling was wrong.
It's meeting in many restaurants, actually.
You're telling me. But we're very proud. We are holding the Indian flag high and doing something different. Honestly, I'm not patronizing you. I think it's a very nice thing. But as people who travel the world, it's nice to see whether we can give them something more than just the same old, which makes us pigeonholed into this small community. And I think we're very varied, vibrant, rich people. And they should know that.
So what are the cuisines represented on your menu?
Of course, Bombay takes center stage, even though
Bombay cuisine?
it's a
Like what?
cosmopolitan mix of. So
Well, if you go by our regional leaders, misal pav, pav bhaji,
No.
upma, khichdi,
no, I'm not having
all the
misal
reasons
pav
I'd leave LA. I'm just telling you.
No, we have a famous Bombay chart.
Okay.
We have like street food from bhel and sev puris, which we've
Fair
grown
enough.
up eating, which a lot of Americans are like extremely excited about having pani puri.
Sure.
But apart from that, yes, we do have North Indian cuisine, which is murg makhani and not chicken tikka
You know what
masala.
upset the Americans about the whole Pani Puri fiasco here? Is that why didn't they think of this first? All you're using is water and this little bit of puri,
Yeah.
and you're charging $45. And they're like, wow, why didn't we think of this first?
So I don't think they have this in the States. There's a place here that does Golgappa shots, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to do things like
No.
But that's with alcohol.
that? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no,
When you put alcohol in anything, the cuisine changes completely. Please understand, it's no longer about the cuisine.
the person also changes when you put alcohol in it.
You're telling me. She used to be such a fun girl.
Oh, God, I'm really hungover today.
Have a Benadryl. Lots of alcohol cheap.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can get through the show as well. I think we need to take a quick break again, and then we'll come back and hit some important topics. But the restaurant's name is Imli. It's in LA. It will launch in August. So please, if you're anywhere around, go and check authentic Indian food, and you'll probably bump into lots of desis. all the movers and shakers of Los Angeles, such as Raju and Prabhu and Jani.
Santosh.
Santosh is there? Arey, you didn't tell me, yaar. We'll come back. It's called Cyrus Says, and I'm with Nikhil Merchant, a man who's reinventing Indian cuisine as we speak. He's cooking on the spot, using hands and legs. More legs for some strange reason, but then who cares? The food will be served in August, which time it'll be fresh and natural. Next to him, Chavi is adjusting what used to be. Chavi! I hate you! No, I love you, Chavi. You're lovely. Is adjusting her new outfit, which is, again, a mixture of black and nothing else, over her head. It'll take 15 minutes. I would think early curtain, but you've moved on from there now. We've got interesting topics coming up in the next show, but for now we'll go with this one, which is the balloon controversy. Only in India, right? So there's a pilot flying a couple of days back, flying up somewhere outside Mumbai, and he suddenly sees what he thinks is parachutes, but it turns out to be balloons at a cricket match, which have been, let off as a sign of celebration, which have gone a little higher, and so he thinks there's an invasion happening. Nikhil, your comments.
Well, I was thinking of launching my restaurant, with balloons.
Yeah.
But apparently now I have to discount.
They've arrested the ballooniers, so to speak. The cricket fraternity that had that little match and the balloon things, they've arrested the manager and the owner of that company. It was a corporate match that they had and to celebrate the company.
I wonder if they'd put some politicians' pictures on it, they'd probably not be able to ban it.
You're funnier than me. Bang on. That's satire. That's lovely, and you're right. You're absolutely right. Of course, if you put any of the politicians' pictures on it, the balloon wouldn't rise. Oh man, what a lovely time. But a little ridiculous, right?
So it's not like these men were holding the strings to the balloon like a kite and flying.
They lost
right?
control of the balloon. It ballooned
but
off.
that's what balloons do.
I know, but how high could a balloon go? I'm stunned.
It went into airspace.
Almost.
Which is kind of dangerous.
Yeah, but okay, whatever. So arrest is the right thing to do?
I don't know about that.
I think they can just ban them.
Of course.
I mean, end of day.
Let's ban balloons.
This guy's getting funnier and funnier. Let's start the show again. Control him. I'm losing my energy on this one. How dare you? Do I talk about food? Mr. Imli. All right. Okay, that's enough about the balloon story. What else can we say about that? I mean, it's just a ridiculous story. But let's talk about My Love is Real. A Kenyan lawyer offers 50 cows, which are banned here, 70 sheep, still here, 30 goats, maybe banned any moment, to marry Obama's elder daughter. And Nikhil, you are a man you're East and West, you sort of are in both the worlds. What do you think?
Well, I've worked closely with farmers.
And Obama as well.
So this is a good bride price.
So I think it isn't a bad idea.
I thought we're 5 cows short. It's just me. Am I right? I don't know. I will go with 55 at least. But that's, how do you respond? I mean, this is 2015, we're almost in 16.
I think maybe he needed some farmland or something and that probably that's why. End of day, I think.
I visited Kenya. Lovely people, lovely place, Hakuna Matata to everybody. But and they do that still. They still do that among certain communities. They do. The worth of a bride is according to the amount of sheep.
Here also.
And do we still use sheep and goats?
No, camels,
cows have been crossed off, but cows have been crossed off.
That's only if they're going to be slaughtered for food.
Right. So what is the bride price? Tell me, what would you get, for example? I mean, I hate to say
idea.
that, but...
there's a dowry calculator on Shadi.com type of something. It's some sort of spoof. Yeah, it's a spoof. And it's interesting.
It's not a spoof. It's based on reality. Go on, tell us.
So in there, but it's not... You'll have to figure out what the monetary cost of the...
How much will a guy pay for you in a sense? What do you think?
You have to check how much a guy will have to... will gain, no? The dowry is given by a girl,
right.
So the boys go and check.
So how much would you give, say, to marry Nikhil?
I don't know. Do you have an MBA?
No.
Are you a lawyer?
No.
Engineer?
No.
Doctor?
Do you have a shed to keep the cows?
Do you have land?
No.
Animals? Husbandry?
No.
Not very much.
Do you know how to ride a camel?
But I still own
a restaurant. You have to milk a goat?
He owns a restaurant. Okay, so but this is entrepreneurial in our community. This is a
I would feel very
traditionalistic thinking, I guess.
Yeah. A salary job, government job gives you a higher dowry value. And more degrees.
But do you think Obama felt quite good? I'm looking at the figures again. 50 cows, 70 sheep, 30 goats. I believe that's pretty high on the scale. That's a lot.
What is he going to do with them on the White House lawns?
Well, probably do more work than the Democrats have in the last couple of years. So, hey. And same-sex bill will get passed finally. Obamacare will be achieved. I mean, come on. Get the right people in the right place. 50 cows, 70 sheep, 30 goats. You're in like Flynn as far as I'm concerned. Okay. I'm very happy.
Isn't she a little young as well? Like 14
yeah, but in different cultures, the young thing gets adjusted. Like in parts of India, I don't want to name like Khap Panchayat or anything, but I have no right to say that. But like 12 is an acceptable age,
God.
Yes.
That is so gross.
Of course,
I
if you
know.
see some of the women 12 years after marriage, God, man. Oof.
Cyrus.
And men! Indian men with their skinny calves. I hate Indian men with their skinny calves. What's wrong with us? We talk about the cow all the time and we have these calves. It just never ends, the pain. All right, so that's enough about Obama. We've lost interest in that subject, but we will move on to the next one. But I will quickly go down to a more interesting subject which you know more about, which is rejuvenating and reinventing yourself as restaurants. You see, in India and in Mumbai especially, I've noticed that every 2 years they seem to change. What's the point of that? Who spends so much money? How does the money make sense? They start a business and in about 1 year they're ready to redo the whole thing again. I mean, what's happening there with your boys?
I think if I speak for Bombay or Mumbai, predominantly, I think people here are confused as what they want to eat. They want everything. They're well traveled. They want everything, but at the same time, they don't want anything. If you get what I'm trying to say.
But that's not all that goes into making a restaurant work, clearly. I mean,
no, I'm not talking about the restaurant. I'm talking about it's a consumer-driven thing, right? At the end of the day, you have to give what the consumer wants. So today, the consumer wants certain things, and then
Okay, let me put you on the spot, Nikhil, because you guys are like politicians and you're holding hands, and I'm getting worried. Masala Library. What do you think of Masala Library? It's one of those refurbished ones.
I think it's
doing very well. You can't get a table.
Yes.
You can't even get masala. They make you stand outside and they laugh at you. And if the waiter looks at you, haha, loser, you can't come in. So, what do you think of the success?
I think it's a fabulous concept.
Do you think it's very derivative of
Don't you
Indian
think
accent?
it's a fraud also? Because they say library, there's not a single book there. I mean, what the hell? Who does that? I went there, wanted to read Harold Robbins, not on the menu at all.
No.
But what's the success? What's so great about these places? And you just stand out for hours. There's another place called Bombay Burma, is it?
Bombay Canteen.
I'll come to that
That's
as well.
Burma.
On a Tuesday at 7:15, I couldn't get in.
Listen, that's a different topic.
You're
You couldn't
vegetarian.
get in, or you...
I know it's vegetarian,
or
but
did
why
you
is it
call
so
for a
successful?
reservation?
Veg on... Sorry?
Did you call or did you go
It was
there?
7:15 on a Tuesday. Normally, when you go there, you ask the proprietor for the key. You open it and you sit in and, you make your own food. I was stunned. Burma is making more money than the actual Burma, which is the country. Let me tell you. So, again, take us through this. Masala Library, what's the secret of their success?
It's all about contemporizing our menu and our cuisine at the end of the day. Because if you look at Indian food, it has been consistent over many, many years. People are now discovering regional cuisines as they should. And I feel that that has kind of caught on with these new restaurants.
But okay, let's look at Bombay Canteen, which you mentioned. I ate there, right? It's a mix mash. I can't even describe it. It's
Pork
this.
It's fusion.
Yeah,
Thepla
it's real
tacos.
fusion. It's a little bit here, a little bit there. I mean, it's difficult to describe. And they got, Kishore Kumar in the background, which I like. Some old Hindi films. When KL Sehgal started singing, some people died, but that's not the point. So that ambience is important. I give you 2 points there. But why is it people can't get into these places? What's so great about the food, to be honest?
It's new food. At the end of the day, it's a new avatar of Indian food. And I think people want...
Unlike the old food the other restaurants serve, which is really
boring, right?
Which is familiar.
Rotten. Okay. All right. But so is there a formula that one can follow? Why is Masala Library, Burma, in Delhi work and Bombay Canteen doing so well? Social?
No, there is no formula as such. I think it's all about the way you market yourself and the way...
Is it important to get the young people in? Is that some MTV-like philosophy?
Kind
15 to 35 should come in here?
I think at the end of the day, these young guys are the ones who lead really, really...
And if they stay long enough, they age and then can go back. Yeah.
No, I think they are...
Why is Shafi drinking water while we're talking? This is so disrespectful. What are you doing? Put your bottle down and contribute to our conversation.
Clearing her throat.
I tell you, Indian women, you give them freedom, this is what happens. No night duty for you. She's
Fine.
laughing.
If you insist. I'll just sit here and drink my water.
Okay, now jokes apart. Nikhil, give me an answer. What is the formula? What's the success?
There is no formula. I think what they're doing is wonderful. It's all about bringing regional cuisine, using locally sourced produce, and giving something different to the consumers.
And why are some successful with this fusion new thing, and why are some not?
I think they get it right. They get the flavors right at the end of the day.
Sometimes it takes time. Like, look at Ellipsis.
Like a love relationship.
Empty for like a year. And now
but then
it's just
Kelvin came and changed everything around.
Yeah.
They changed
Kelvin
the chef.
Klein, the fashion guy?
Kelvin Klein.
I don't know. Kelvin and Hobbs? Who's Kelvin?
Kelvin is the chef of Ellipsis. And
okay, so we're getting somewhere now. So the chef is very important. The taste is very important. And
I think being novel is certainly important. That's my opinion. You have to do something different to stand out from the crowd.
Novel
and
again.
then when you bring in the young crowd is when you know that it's happening and then everybody wants to be there.
Yeah. And I also think that vegetarian upscale restaurants in India and
Do
Bombay
very well.
especially do exceptionally well. Because this is what was explained to me by my friend Hardik on
What's his name?
Hardik.
What? Just say that again slowly and hyphen it.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, what the hell?
So, Hardik...
We have nothing in this show.
Listen.
We got this guy's name to save
I
our
know.
show. Say 3 times.
You say
With
it.
20-second intervals. It'll be better in the conversation.
Maybe
No, I'm
retweet
kidding.
our link if we use it.
So, you have
do
a
know
friend
Hardik?
called Hardik.
Yes.
I have a friend
Can
called Parikshit.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
India's full of people. Yeah, go on.
Can I go on? Yes.
Go, yeah, please.
So Hardik was
Oh,
explaining
what?
to
Sorry,
me...
you got me again.
Poor guy. So it was his aunt's
Who?
birthday.
Who? Whose birthday?
This guy I know.
Hardik's aunt,
Yeah.
Anal.
So listen
Oh,
now.
sorry. Yeah.
It was her birthday and she's elderly. And he
Yeah.
said now there are so many choices. Before that, if they wanted to go vegetarian, they had to go to Cream Center or...
Oh, yeah, dominate. You could.
What is that other place next to it?
New Yorkers.
New Yorker. Right
Those
on
two
Marine Drive.
restaurants were like
That's it.
packed.
And now
They
if you
still
want
are.
to go somewhere special...
I've noticed a little. I like my chole bhature, so I go there from time to time, and it's not as difficult to get in, as in the old days.
And there are more branches
And
now.
people don't beat you to get in. Like the
But
only they
now-
stamp on your face, catch that chole, walk out. That doesn't
so
happen.
you had the option of chole bhature or Gujarati nachos.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you have Spice Club, you have Quattro, you have that
Burma.
So
Super hit.
if you want to go somewhere nice and take your whole family, you don't have to just keep going back to the same 2 places, which is why I think these
And there's a
vegetarian
big market
restaurants-
in South Mumbai for veg restaurants. as we know.
Absolutely, yeah, because a lot of communities are just
Yes.
vegetarian.
And I think non-veg restaurants in South Bombay in certain areas don't
Are not
really
even
work.
allowed, yeah.
Yeah.
True enough.
Yeah.
You can't
and
order...
lots of non-veg
right?
people eat veg food also. Don't forget the clientele can
Yes.
increase. But vice versa doesn't happen for some reason. I've tried
Some
that.
reason,
I used to get my veg friends over, give them prawns and say it's paneer. Oh, damn.
It didn't work?
But I loved it. 4 years he ate it and then now he doesn't speak
And
to me.
giant
Speaking
chicken.
of- Giant chicken? What the heck is that?
A woman you married who's got skinny legs.
No.
No.
What is
Her name
giant
is
chicken?
Chicken.
Jane. What?
That
You know,
doesn't
it's
work.
actually funny because a lot of people make fun of giant chicken.
What is giant
Why would they do that? It makes so much sense.
What do you think? What do you think is giant chicken?
I don't know. I have to have 5 drinks to have this conversation.
Soy protein? I have no idea.
No,
Chicken
it's
that didn't
not.
need onions?
It's actually chicken which is made without onions and garlic.
Oh, you're kidding. But
So it's still chicken.
It is still
So
chicken.
which self-respecting Jain will come near
what's
it?
going on here?
Unless you can get it as a pet. Jain chicken, take him home. Name is Bobby, pat him. Now fetch.
No onions for this guy. Yeah.
You know what the other name for male chicken is? Okay, forget it, Hardik. Let's move on. I think we're going to move into another segment now, but before we do that, we need to take what is called a break. Favorite food, Nikhil, as we end this bit?
Japanese.
Oh,
Sushi.
yours is Japanese, is it? Mm-hmm. And
What a sad dearth of Japanese restaurants in Bombay, no?
and Japanese
It
people.
is.
I love
But
Japanese
LA,
people.
Who doesn't love Japanese people?
There's happy hours at sushi in LA. Oh my god,
Exactly.
heaven.
There's a restaurant in Tokyo where they massage you while you eat. The food
Oh,
digests
even
well.
better.
Yeah, they
You
serve-
can eat stuff off people's bodies.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
you can.
like too
Eat
far.
off people's
Yeah.
bodies.
No.
Hardik would have a job. Okay, we'll take a break and
Terrible.
come back.
Poor guy.
Well, it's not my fault. Talk to his parents. It's called Cyrus Says, although Chavi now says we should share this name. So I'll say, let's call it Cyrus Says, Chavi told me. I think it's really catchy and people, have you listened to the show? Cyrus Says, Chavi told me. Oh.
It's time for the AMA with Cyrus, which means ask me anything. He doesn't have the questions. I'm going to throw them at him and we'll see what he says.
Right.
So if you guys have questions, you need to email us at what
When you say you guys, who are you talking to? Because it's just you and me here now. Oh, you're talking to the people who may be listening. Okay, fair enough.
will be listening.
But
are listening.
You think?
Yes.
I think they're long dead. They're all finished.
You think they didn't make it here? Like we killed them? You killed them?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, hopefully there's somebody in the void. So if you're there, come on, prove me right. Send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com. So that's WHATCYRUS SAYS@gmail.com, or go to cyrussays.in and submit a question there.
I feel like a cult leader, I have my lady friend who does all the talking for me and promoting myself, and I'm standing right there, doing probably one of the Surya Namaskars and going, gleaming smile, yes, join us, join our cult, free food from Los Angeles, Imli restaurant, and of course, don't forget P instructor Hardik in room 24 on your way out, and you were saying.
I've forgotten what I was saying. So from Anish on email, growing up in the 70s and 80s.
How dare you?
You tell everybody how old
and
you are.
80s. More 80s, Baba.
Okay.
Come on.
Take-
70s, what am I? I'm the Prime Minister's
40-something.
classmate? What's happening here? This is really unfair.
He's going, his math,
Listen,
I told you
I'm at
don't
that
fault.
age where it's a very touchy topic. I told you organs are falling out, hairs growing in different places. I mean, you can't control anything.
Yes, you said, right?
You know,
That was what you're talking about?
The other day I tried to pee. It took me 12 minutes,
TMI.
I also tried to flush, and that didn't happen, but that's not because of me.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's because of that idiot on the 5th floor. Should fix his damn plumbing. Oh, let's not get into that.
Let's not.
Yeah, of course not.
Can I finish the question now?
Yeah, but I'm already insulted. 70s. What is he
Growing
think?
up in the 80s.
I'm not Mangal Pandey, I'm grew up, I'm just like early 40s.
growing up, whenever you did,
Yes,
what
thank
was
you.
your favorite Amitabh Bachchan movie?
Oh, I actually only watched Amitabh Bachchan films when it came to Hindi films. I never watched another hero in the entire 80s. Just Amitabh Bachchan. And one Amol Palekar film on TV.
Okay, what was your favorite then?
Oh, lots. I like Kalia.
No, favorite means
Amar
one.
Akbar Anthony.
Amar Akbar
I
Anthony.
love Amar Akbar. I love him coming out of the egg. Only Amitabh Bachchan could come out of an egg, sing a song, and you actually sort of say, yeah, that's possible. That makes sense. Only Amitabh Bachchan. Nobody else could do it. You just think if Anil Kapoor came out of the egg, you shut the egg and put it back in. It just would work. So yeah, oh God, I loved Amitabh Bachchan. I used to wear a cross for a little while and try to be Anthony Gonsalves. And what I liked about him, he has these really scrawny arms. And Vinod Khanna was this big built Punjabi guy. And they would have this big fight. And I don't know if you've seen the film. And at the end of the fight, he has this terrible dialogue when they're in, one of them gets locked up. Where Vinod Khanna is a policeman. So he locks up Amitabh Bachchan. And the character of Anthony tells him, "Maine sirf do baar mara. Lekin solid mara." He got hammered by Vinod Khanna. And he still comes out like, better. So yeah, I was a big fan. Loved Amitabh Bachchan.
Awesome.
Still do. I got to meet him many times and all that, but I've realized to keep my heroes away from, because there's a romantic element to all the people you looked up to. You get to know them, that gets shattered slowly, so I don't get it.
So you're keeping him at arm's
That's why I
length.
stay away from you. You were also one of my heroes growing up. So much for 70s and 80s, lady. Huh?
Is he talking to me or Anish? I'm a little confused.
Who's
now.
Anish?
Anish is the person
Trivedi,
who
the guy with the
question.
mustache. He's the only man I know who's known as a mustache and then a person. You actually, the Anish with the mustache, and then the person. Normally it's like the person, he's got a mustache, Like with, say, a bald guy. You say, okay, this is John, he's bald. But with Anish, it's always been, mustache, Anish, yeah. And he's a guy as well, yeah. Which he is. But I want to ask you one thing. If you have a mustache that thick, is it all in proportion? Is it all in proportion? The hair, I'm saying.
Let's let other people answer that.
I'm
not
just
going
saying,
to.
don't falsely advertise. Some of the ladies get bothered.
All right, what Cyrus says at gmail.com.
By the way, Nikhil is sitting here not talking, and he's looking like a man about to give birth to a child after 14 months of labor. And it's a huge child. I'm talking gorilla, nothing less. You were saying. Next question.
Next question. From Arpita on email as well. Are you a religious person?
What do you think, Arpita? I spend my whole day in a studio here fighting over air conditioning. I haven't prayed in 14 years. And I live in India, and you really should. I'm told that if you don't pray, they take away your passport.
Are they prayed traffic lights?
Can I tell you, forget that, funerals and all, I'm one of those guys because I have no praying culture. I don't know what to do. And everybody else, whichever community they're from, they're so elegant and fast, They just hit their whole prayer culture. You can see the body language is fluid. And I'm like, okay, I'll copy Rahul. His right hand has gone this way, left hand that way. Bend the neck, shut the eye, keep one eye open. Just know when to, get up again. Oh God. And I tell you, and I'm Parsi Christian mix, honestly, and they've got very strange ways of praying. In the Christian religion, they make you sit up and get up all the time, which I'm like, no one's fat in the whole of Christianity. God be with you, you sit down, God be with you again, peace be with you, get up. I mean, after 5 of those sit-ups, I'm like, hey, hello.
Herd mentality.
Herd mentality.
Parsi religion, they keep swaying. It's like they've got opera in the background, It's playing in the background and people are moving, so,
We're never allowed in, so we don't know.
Oh, you're telling me. Don't worry. I've got to work on this whole religion. I'm going to start my own religion. What do you think?
I think that's awesome.
I want that guy to join us.
The cult that we talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll let him know.
There you go.
He might reject your offer.
No.
No. Okay.
We need one disciple and we have a religion. Remember that.
Right, I'll ask him. The offer's open. So, from Rajiv on email, your third question is, what's the most extravagant thing you've ever done?
Oh, that's amazing. I once followed a girl to Goa.
That's extravagant.
Well,
Why?
for me, I had
How
to
much
spend
did it
my own
cost
money.
you?
By bus, 400 rupees, I think.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. But she didn't even, we weren't even having an affair. I just followed her. I was 19 years old and stupid. And I've never been out of my chauffeur-driven car before that. So I was suddenly sitting with strange people, and it was a lady called Farida who adopted me, bought me vada pav. It was a lovely experience because the whole 17 hours, we killed a lot of people. A lot of people died under the bus. And as we reached the end of the ride, she had fed me, largish lady, and she'd helped me with buying fruity and things like that. And at the end of that, she gave me a bill.
No.
She actually said, okay, this is your bill. And it was like 7 vada pavs, 2 fruities, 1 limbu pani, 1 coconut water,
Wow.
1 biscuit packet. I was like, what the hell? Never take a bus again.
That's
It's the most
amazing.
expensive way to travel. Go by plane, they don't charge you any. Oh, well, if you go to budget airline.
Which
sorry.
all
don't,
of them.
Don't want to make fun of you, but yeah.
Yeah.
These things happen. No
They
kidding.
do.
Yeah. What was the question?
What is the most extravagant
So I went to
thing
meet
you've
this
ever done?
girl with no, guarantee of success in that sense.
Do you like the story, Nikhil?
No.
Yeah, I think
I
you
don't
should.
believe it.
Neither did the girl.
I think you need to top it.
But that's on
Something
the bad. The bad part was on the way back. Farida again. This time I just gave her the money. I said, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to diet. Oh, I've done lots of great things. I gave a ring to my wife. I'll never forget. Of course, a phone call costs ₹1, so that's really not much.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, for love, I've done a lot of different things.
That's no. I want to hear about some like rings you bought her or something extravagant.
I
or
gave
yourself.
my grandmother's ring while she was still alive and sleeping. Does that count? Or is that just mean?
That was just mean. That's
Okay.
not extravagant.
I returned it to my grandmother while still sleeping.
Okay, tell us about the Jimmy Choos you've bought and things like that.
No, listen, I'm not a consumer. You got the wrong guy. Look at the way I dress. WSC, Welfare Stray Dogs free t-shirt. These shorts owned by Kunal Vijayakar. That doesn't mean the relationship is more than you think. Socks from a theatre production, always free. All my socks are free. Shoes given to me by a fellow gym workout guy who said, I can't bear your shoes. And he gives me these shoes as an improvement. No Jimmy shoes choose. Yeah, I can tell you.
Okay, so clearly the question was just for the wrong person.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 400 rupees on a bus ticket.
What a story. It's all true.
Plus
What do you
whatever.
want, Walter Raleigh? You want me to put my cloak down?
Yeah.
Who wears a cloak? This is the 21st century. You're the only person wearing a cloak, yeah, that I've ever met.
All right, Nikhil, what's the most extravagant thing you've ever done?
Spent on a dinner.
One dinner?
Yeah.
What kind of
For
dinner
yourself?
was this?
Like
How romantic.
no, it was on a dinner which I had in Bombay itself. I won't mention where, but I spent a lot of money on it.
But
And,
why? Were you impressing somebody? Eating somebody
no, I
out?
wasn't impressing anybody. I was just wanted to try out what the chef had to bring out, and it was quite
How much was it?
delightful.
How much did you pay?
12,000.
And how much can you eat in 12,000?
Well, there were about
With alcohol?
No, so yes,
Then it's okay.
Then it's okay.
Of
12,000?
course.
For
Because
how
I
many
want-
people?
for one person.
Listen,
For one
in
person.
12,000 I get to eat Jimmy Choo. Okay? It's up to me.
Half, or maybe a toe.
Just Jimmy?
just the heel.
You get to keep your chew.
All right, that's
but-
fairly extravagant.
yeah.
What about purchases? You
And why
haven't
would a
bought
guy
anything.
called Jimmy Choo get into shoes?
No idea.
That's just ridiculous. This just doesn't make sense. Yeah. Sorry, it was your question.
Okay, what about a gift? Have you ever given somebody something really extravagant?
No, not. I don't know what you
He
mean
said
by
he-
expensive.
Extravagant.
Or
Like just,
extravagant, but-
out of the ordinary.
What is
not
the most
really
money you
count-
spend on someone? I think she wants a romantic story. Is not getting one from me.
No, not like a money thing, but just like, something that went
Did you write a
above and
lovely
beyond.
poem which has more than 4 words in it, for example?
4 words, roses,
Is that
are
what you
red
that is
violets.
extravagant.
What is the wildest, greatest thing you've ever done for anybody, if you can think of it? Am I right?
Yeah.
Because for her, people have, given away their camels. Or
Yeah.
They have, haven't
Yeah.
they? Right. And
Maybe I should consider giving some animals.
I've got plenty of relatives who are right on the borderline, absolutely Darwinian. So you just give us a call. Is there a story there?
No.
No, nothing?
You boys are boring, man. All right, I think we're done with the AMA. What Cyrus Says at gmail.com or cyrussays.in, and we can start our cult right there.
Yeah, that's cult. CULT, yeah?
Face palm and shaking my head and rolling my eyes, which you can't see. I'm just dying here.
Indians don't spell. Do you SMS? I can't understand what people send me
No,
half the time. Please spell full words.
There was somebody who once messaged me something that it took me so long to
I got an FUK the other day and I was like, how dare you? It was for your knowledge.
Oh my God,
Yes,
really?
yes, my
Your
God, yes.
knowledge with a U.
F-U bloody K. I'm never speaking to that lady again. Because I was so excited, I took my clothes off and called her back. Even though we were in separate cities. And boom, it's for your knowledge.
That's amazing.
I wanted to inform you about Harappa civilization. I don't know about Harappa. I don't know about your civilization. I'll show you my Harappa. That was the conversation in my mind. Of course, that didn't happen.
So I got something that said DND, and I thought it was like the Noida Delhi flyover or Do Not Disturb. But it was. I had to actually call my niece.
So what was it?
It wasn't Do Not Disturb.
No.
Then?
You do know it is do not disturb actually in normal parlance.
Yeah.
So what was it? DND?
I'm trying to remember actually.
I'll tell you what it was. An ambassador number of a car.
Old
That's what it
time,
could be.
80s,
An old
yeah.
Delhi. DND!
So I couldn't decipher this, and I called my niece, and I said, "What is this? I can't understand." And she was like, "I'm busy." And I said, "Okay, forget this person. I'm never talking to this person again. I have no idea what they're saying."
This
Everything
niece
was
is
three
how?
letters.
5 years old?
No, she's about 20, so I thought she'd be plugged in. you know?
Yeah. You got to get the 12-year-olds. After that, they're finished. I'm telling you, there's a new generation of people who know everything. They're really young and short
By
and
the way,
smelly.
I once went on
and eat a lot.
blind date with somebody, and the deal breaker was that he texted like this.
While you were sitting together.
I was on my way to meet him, and he texted, and I was just like, "Oh my God!"
Did he
I can't
say
handle
FUK?
this.
Because
No,
that's
he didn't
really
say
a giveaway.
FUK, but there were no vowels at all in
What
these
was the word he
messages.
used?
There was things like HR for here. I'm here.
Or
Like
LYK.
HR.
HR. What the hell is that?
So you left.
I got
you
there.
stood him up. You stood
No,
him
we
up.
made conversation, and then I got more messages, and I was just like, "Oh my God, I cannot even respond to these. I'm really sorry." Deal breaker.
Was he a good-looking guy?
I don't remember. No,
Was
I
he rich?
I don't care. He couldn't spell.
Is he now the defense minister of our country?
No, thank
Okay,
God.
just
I would
checking.
recognize that.
Just checking. All right, that's all we have time for. We actually have lots more time, but we are told that's all we have time for. And it's bye from all three of us. We'll give you a combined bye. Nikhil, all the best to you in your restaurant. Chavi, all the best to you and your new fashion avatar, which is going to change worlds as we speak. And we will give a collective bye to show that this is like an almost live show. All right? So when I say 1, 2, 3, we say bye. 1, 2, bye. See, I got you. It's my show. Cyrus Says. Read it. Fine print. Cyrus Says. Okay. You don't talk. I talk.
Thanks,
all right?
Cyrus.
And you go call Hardik. I want to have a chat with him. All right?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
All views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily the views and opinions of the IndusVox Media Network or any of our show advertisers or sponsors. No animals were harmed in the making of this podcast, obviously.
All right, time to look at the podcast, Podcast. It's, we have to push the pun from time to time because it's an audio medium. We can't write it for you. Hosted by the DailyPow.com's Purva Mehra, Pranoti Datta and Amit Gurbaksani. The podcast is your fortnightly lowdown on Mumbai's food and culture scenes. Plus, if you pay them money, they'll talk about your family and other animals.